Your upbringing, you grow up, your sister's famous, she's big time actor, she's a singer. Both parents are together. So you got money, you know, you one of these black families that got a little money. Did your family tell you no, or were you spoiled?
I've like when you doing TV, you always got like my mom always
because she was your manager.
Yeah, so we always had trust funds and stuff. So I always had like an allowance growing up that I could spend. A couple times I was like spending it in the neighborhood. I bought like this G ride, this big ass like Cadillac. It was the big long one.
Okay,
right? I was like 14. I was getting like, you know, $300 a week. That's solid back in the day.
Yeah.
So I bought the G ride for like $350.
Right.
And I had it parked down the street. So I would drive it here and there, but I let the homies drive me around.
Right.
But yeah, that was one of my first purchases. Was the G ride Cadillac. It wasn't stolen. It just was like one of the homies, like aunties that didn't want it no more.
Yeah.
But my people didn't know, so I did have a car at like 14. But
your mom and dad didn't know you had a car.
I mean, that car too. It was like it was one of them big ass.
So you had like an L dog or something.
Yeah. So if I drove it a couple times, but it just didn't even look right. You know what I'm saying? But nah, they didn't tell me no. There was always a limit to do stuff.
Right.
But back in the day, I always kind of went over the limit. You know what I'm saying? And they always had to bring me back to reality. Yeah.
Right. But you had a lot of famous friends growing up. How was that hanging out with famous friends?
Well, Snoop was my cousin.
Yeah.
And Daz was my cousin. So I would, if I wasn't in the neighborhood or over in the Fruits with Demetrius, I was at Can-Am.
Okay.
So I used to like go down the street and Snoop and Daz would pick me up, and then I would just hide under the back of the Cherokee Jeep until I got past my pops, and then we would go to the valley.
Oh man,
yeah, it was crazy, man. I remember the last time I got caught out there.
Right.
And I had found some Playboy magazines at my school.
Right.
And it was like under the dirt. It was like about 50, like 1950 Playboy, 50, 51.
Yeah.
And my dad and mom caught me with them under the bed with a little bit of weed. And coming in from Can-Am, I was lit. I got caught. I got my ass beat real bad. I think that was my last whooping, but it was like with an extension cord.
Yeah.
An orange one.
You remember that one, huh?
Yeah.
If that was the last one, your mom and dad probably said, this is the last time we're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure we put this thing on it right so he'll remember it.
When my pops was going to prepare, I was putting all the clothes on my back, trying to get it right. As soon as he started, that shit slid all the way down to the bottom. But yeah, that was my last whooping. But later, my dad and my mom found out that they were old magazines because they thought I was lying.
Right.
But when I guess they looked at them. But yeah, they saw that they was old.
Right. So what was it growing up? What was it like growing up for you in Hollywood? Because it seemed like when you were in high school, you were a problem.
Yeah, but that's when it was popping in Hollywood. So I was so like, and I wouldn't say bad, like I'm doing bad things to people. I was just lit. And
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Doing grown shit a little bit earlier.
At 16, 17.
Yeah, in the clubs and shit. And so.
Did your mom and parents know you were in the club?
No.
So you sneaking out the house?
Yeah.
So what they thought you were?
Well, when I was 16, I had a convertible. I had the BMW convertible that my mom and pops got me. It was a convertible Beamer. Brandy already had the 4.6 range back in the day.
Yeah.
Remember the 4.6?
Yeah, the big boy.
4.0.
Yeah.
B had the 4.6.
Okay.
She didn't want to drive it no more. I'm in that motherfucker, right? So I was just moving around a lot. Like, it's crazy to see what was in the 90s, and I was able to witness that. But anybody that seen me in the 90s and knew that I was Brandy's brother, it was a trip to them.
Yeah,
like they was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes, I'm thinking the same thing as you're telling the story. I'm like, bro.
So they wanna see it in action, so I would pull up and then have fun with everybody and be lit. Yeah, man. It was a good time. That's why being Brandy's brother, it was the greatest.
Yeah.
Like, it was never any friction on trying to be better.
Right. So there's no downside. There can't be any downside to that.
I would be insane. That would be insane.
It's all positive.
I mean, at the highest level, to the stars and the stars beyond. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? It was the greatest.
Your mom was your manager.
Still, my mom's still my
Still
third
your
eye.
manager.
She my third eye now.
Wow.
She watched the management team. She watched the lawyers. She watched everybody.
Was she Brandon's manager also?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a blessing, because now you have someone that sincerely have your best interest.
Yeah.
That can, hey, here's the money. This is the money coming in. This is what we have to pay X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we need to save to make sure, because if this thing ends tomorrow,
Yeah.
we need to make sure that we're set up for past tomorrow.
Exactly. And she's always instilled that with us. And even when we thought sometimes we was low, we was still up. That's just because moms had put these safety nets in accounts and make sure we paid all our taxes and, just a lot of different things that's important to be able to survive like a 3-decade run.
Right.
It's hard to survive one. So three of them, something's got to be working right. There's some kind of template that we're following that is actually a proof of concept that works.
Right.
And that's consistent throughout the time.
Does she handle anybody else besides you and your sister?
She did over the years.
Okay.
She did over
Right.
the years. 702, Silk, Tiny, a plethora of other people. Wow. Did I use that word? Jesus.
Yeah, you did it.
Okay. But yeah, just a lot of people she's helped along the way. But she's always kept us in first priority.
Right.
You know what I mean?
How different would your life be had you not had that strong woman, which is your mother, which is also your manager? How different would Ray J's life be?
Man, how I was talking about I felt emotional? That's an emotional question. I wouldn't even know what to do, man. That would be, I'd probably be dead.
Because she has to wear several hats. She has to be your mom at all times, but she also has to be your manager and help and try to negotiate and navigate you through music, entertainment, or whatever, commercial, whatever the case may be. So she has to be too, but she always number one priority is that she's mom.
Yeah, man. And I talk to my mom every day, and she's been helping me with the new network. And when you have somebody like my mom on your team, I'm talking about you get 24-hour hard work. 3 a.m. on the phone with India every night, working on upgrades to upgrade the Tronics network, and back on it with me at 9, and then dealing with the issues maybe that Brandy needs to, or my little niece. And still, taking care of the kids when I need her to watch the kids. So, yeah, man, it's just, your mom or that woman figure in your life, nobody should take that for granted, because it's the only thing that you really have that if you gotta survive and you down to nothing, they're gonna find a way.
They're gonna be there for you.
Not just be there for you. They're gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way to make sure you're straight.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because we like to do something before 2 something.